Today I am finally working on the pantry. This is a project that I've been wanting to do for a while, but I was absolutely determined to get done in the next week. It looks awful, it's badly organised, and those two are just a combination that I absolutely hate. So I decided I was going to really push for it to get done within a week. So the first thing I did was completely destroy everything. I took the shelves out, I took all the nails out of the wall and then started filling them up. The cleaning was the very last thing I did, just because I knew there was going to be a whole load of destruction getting everything out. So once everything was filled up, then I needed to get rid of the skirting boards, and my normal mini crowbar just didn't do the job. So I got my favourite tool, my big crowbar, and got all the skirting boards out. So it turns out the reason they were so hard to get out is because they were fixed in with these, which were very, very hard to get out, but the big crowbar did the job. And then it was just time to start cleaning everything perfectly, ready for the tiles. I was originally going to paint the very back wall black, but in the end I decided against that and just stuck with an off-white colour and then my favourite dark forest green on the right, and then got Ethon cut up the tiles for me and put them down while I primed the floor, and then I moved on to grouting. This is some grout that we've got left over from the last project we did, which I think was the downstairs bathroom, and I absolutely hate doing this because I reverse numbers all the time in my head, and yay, dyslexia, the bane of my life. So I'm going to mix this all together, and I always have to reread this stuff about 6-7 times in a row because I always mess it up. But it's okay, I will get there, and I shouldn't need a ton, so I think I'm going to mix it by hand. I'm not going to use the paddle mixer that I normally attach to the drill. We don't need that much grout, so I'm going to mix this all together. Hopefully I'm not going to mess it up and I can get grouting. Once the grout was all done and I'd washed off the top, I just needed to wait for it to dry. Now the shelves, this was a little bit tricky because that white shelf, which was originally a door, I hated the look of it, so I just stuck some old floorboards on top of that. It's a temporary measure, but it looks way better than the obviously sawn in half door that it was before. So then I just needed to clean up the grout, make sure that it looked all nice, and then the next stage was to make the shelving. Now I really wanted twin slot shelving because it means I can move things up and down. If you've been following my previous DIYs, you've seen that I've put this in my studio, in the downstairs food cupboard. It's everywhere because it's so flippin' useful. And the little brass ones look so nice. So that's what I wanted in there, just to contrast with that green. As usual, I was constantly losing things either on the shelf or on the floor, or typically in my hoodie or in my pockets, but eventually I found everything that I needed and I was able to put the shelves up. Now all I need to do is I need to cover up all the areas like here. I don't know how well you can see that, or I didn't paint it well to begin with, and then from drilling the holes I've left some marks on the wall, so I'm going to clean that all up. I need to take the stickers off the bars, then I'm going to put the original shelf back up there, and the rest I'm just going to do another day. I didn't want to just sit down on the ground. I can't because this wall is painted, so I couldn't just push the skirting board in while it dried. But I have other things to do, so to save time what I did is I just got some planks from the garden, any scrap wood that we had, and then gradually wedged it to try and push it as tight against the wall as possible. I'm going to leave it here for about an hour, which is a bit annoying because I can't really work on the rest of everything else while this is going on. I'd rather wait until this was properly dried before I go ahead and start cutting things. I don't really have room in the budget for error, so slow and steady is kind of the word of the day. But another hour, this should be dry, and then I will cut that side, and then I will cut this side and do the rest. After taking far too long to get the skirting board done and having to recut a few pieces quite a few times because they were just slightly too big by sometimes just a millimetre, but eventually everything slotted into place nicely. I was able to cover up the edging, and now it was time to get the shelves in. Now the shelving was really just repurposed shelves from the shed. Some of them are painted and they don't look the nicest, but they're all solid wood, so I'm thinking at some point I'll just sand them down, give them a nice bit of seasoning, and then they'll look absolutely gorgeous and weathered. And now I have space to make mead and clover wine and dandelion wine and all these things. I've got space for my baskets. This little one is what I use daily to get food from the garden, and then the big one is if I'm picking a load of stuff. I still need somewhere to hang up my gardening bag, but for the moment this is already such an improvement and I'm really happy with it.